I shall continue with medical law and ethics part 2. It is nice to be important, but it is also more important to be nice. This is what ethics all over the world teaches, and a physician has to follow. I do not know what the word ethics means because it has got a lot of feelings to tell me what is right and wrong. What I feel is right and wrong is that feelings which comes within me whenever I do an action. Ethics has to do with my religious belief. At the same time, I have to be careful to follow the religious belief and not to deviate from the religious path. Being ethical is what the law also requires. So we will have to obey the law of the land where we live, and ignorance of law will not be an excuse, even though we may quote the ethical aspects, but sometimes ethics can overrule law also. What then is ethics means? So well-founded standards of right and wrong that prescribes what human ought to do in terms of rights, obligations, benefit to the society, fairness and specific virtues. So what are the rights of the physicians? We will have to know. At the same time, what are the obligations to the patient? We will have to know. At the same time, for the benefit of the society, we will have to act certain times by informing the health authorities, and then we will have to be fairness with all the investigations and the management part of a patient. So specific virtues also play a major part. Studying our own moral beliefs and our moral conduct, we and the institutions help to live up to the standards. So what has been taught to us in the childhood days, schoolhood days, all these things has to be summed up, and then we will have to have after entering this profession, we will have to be more ethical standards. And ethics and medical profession, what is it? Is voluntarily self-imposed code of conduct by the medical profession, formulated by the state medical councils, Indian medical councils and World Medical Association. So what the state tells, we will have to follow. The same thing will be told by the Indian Medical Council, and almost the same thing will be told by the World Medical Association also. How we conduct ourselves in front of a patient as well as the society. If you take the history of medical ethics in India, the oldest Hammurabi, 2200 BC old. The earliest recorded code of ethics, 600 BC. And in the days of Charaka and Sushruta, the concept of life and death cycle intervene. So it is, though there are a number of people who have advocated this ethics, it almost resembles the same. Later on, Buddha and the ethics of life, following which there were a number of followers of Buddha, and it itself became a religion. The four noble truths will be: existence is unhappiness. So sometimes we are not happy with our existence. That is because the unhappiness is caused by selfish craving. So we like to earn more and more, we like to spend more and more outside, and sometimes we even avoid families, and late nights we going for the professional work, and selfish craving can be destroyed ourselves and as well as the family and the ethics we follow. There's an eightfold path. These should be cherished by the physicians. What are the eightfold paths? Is that right of you to know the truth. So we'll have to, what is truth at any cost, we'll have to follow the truth. And the right intention, our intention should be right, in the sense, free your mind of evil. So there should not be any evil interruption, whoever may advise anything. The right speech, say nothing that hurts others, however busy you are, however you are tensed, you will have to see that you do not hurt others, especially your patients and their relatives. The right action, work for the good of others, Sometimes there can be pressure to admit more patients. Sometimes there can be pressure to do more investigations on patients. Sometimes to prolong their stay itself. But always think that what you will do for your own kith and kin, you will have to do for the patients. Right livelihood, respect life, so that we respect whether they pay heavily or sometimes they borrow money and then pay, or sometimes they do not have the money. The ethics should be the same. The right effort, so resist evil, as I told earlier. So whatever, in whichever form it may come, either it may come as gifts, it may come as money, it may come as influence, we should not give room for any of them. Right concentration, so practice and meditation also is very important, so that we are in the right path. Right mindfulness, control our thoughts at any time, whether it is under influence of any party or it is just our families. Sir William Osler, the practice of medicine is an art based on science, working with science, in science and for science. So it is, practice itself is an art of medicine, so that we practice medicine, though it is an evidence-based practice, but it is also an art how we approach it. Getting the history of the patient itself in those days was an art. So the way we approach the patient and way we give them comfort itself will cure them to some extent. So our practice of medicine, we should be treated as an art, and this art has to be learnt from our role models.